Okay, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going through a bunch of Am I the Asshole posts centered around neighbor problems, neighbor issues. Side note, this is my last video that I'm pre-recording while I'm gone for the Sidemen charity match, so hopefully after this video comes out, the next videos are going to be normal, not low energy maybe, or seem like they're rushed. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Would I be the a-hole if I tell my neighbor his wife is cheating on him? I live in a duplex, and my neighbor, say his name is Jack, that lives below me has a wife, say her name is Mary, and a kid. If anyone watching me lives in a duplex, can you guys let me know if the sound goes very clearly between the walls? I feel like if you're literally connected like a townhouse, you can't afford to be loud, but I live in an apartment with pretty thick walls, so it might be the same thing, I don't know. He sometimes travels for work, and this last week he was gone almost the entire week. A day or two after he leaves, some guy, say his name is Jody, shows up and stayed the night and came over a couple times. And one night when I came home, Mary and Jody were laying on the couch together and he had no shirt on. And I'm sure he slept in bed with her, also because I came home late one night when he was there and nobody was in the living room and everyone was clearly asleep by then. Now Jack is home and Jody hasn't showed up again. How did you see Mary and Jody laying on the couch together? If the wife is cheating on her husband, why would she be laying up with another dude with the windows open? That doesn't make sense. Don't get me wrong, unless she's counting on the fact that her neighbors won't say anything, that's still pretty stupid. That doesn't make sense. And also, if you came home late one night, how would OP know Jody was there if no one was in the living room? I guess maybe he saw his car, but that's it. I talked to my girlfriend about it and she told me not to get involved because I would be an a-hole for getting into their business. I hate that way of thinking. Oh my god, bro. Okay, if I'm being honest, the whole idea of not wanting to tell someone they're being cheated on because you don't want to get in their business, to me is stupid, honestly. From what I understand, when people say that, they're like, oh my god, I don't want to get in between you guys, so I'm not going to tell you they're getting cheated on. The thing is, once you tell the person, yo, your partner's cheating on you, like let's say someone tells me that, right? After I get told that, my focus isn't going to be on the person who told me. It's going to be all of my partners. So I'm not going to care who told me. The only thing I'm going to care about is the fact that I was being told. I'm not going to be like, yeah, this person told me, so now I'm going to look at them, or like I'm going to ask them why you didn't tell me earlier. Like any of those questions aren't going to come in my head at all. So the idea that it's okay to not tell someone they're being cheated on only because you don't want to get into it just sounds like a lazy excuse to not tell someone something. I just don't see a net negative. Like if you're worried you're going to lose your friendship with the person that does the cheating, and because they're going to get mad at you for telling their partner that you cheated, they're not a good person for getting mad at you. I guess they can feel that way because they expect you to keep it a secret, but at the same time, if you're cheating on someone, you can't expect to have good people around you that wouldn't tell on you in the first place. And also with his girlfriend, like with his girlfriend saying that, who is he going to be an asshole to? The guy getting cheated on or the wife? Because he shouldn't care about the wife thinks of him. And she talked me into waiting to see if Jody comes back when Jack leaves for work again, and said if it happens again, then I can do whatever I want, but in the tone of, I'm saying you can do whatever, but you better not do it. Why does the girlfriend care so much? Okay, I really don't get the girlfriend's point of view, honestly. I completely disagree with her. But if Jack's wife is cheating on him, I would feel awful for just sitting by knowing that it's happening and not saying anything. Personally, if that's happening to me and my neighbor knew, I'd want someone to tell me so I don't find out after it's been happening for like 10 years or something like that. Okay, yeah. But my girlfriend says it'd be better if he finds out for himself and the signs will be obvious, so it won't take that long. What kind of reasoning is that? What? Is there more to the story that OP isn't telling us? But I feel like it would not be that simple for him just to find out if he's gone for a week at a time. Yeah, if he's gone for one whole week, the wife has plenty of time to like hide the evidence or something like that, especially if the guy leaves a day in between him coming and leaving. Like there's no way he would be able to find out on his own. Before anybody says anything about me being weird for snooping or anything like that, I'm not. Their apartment window is ground level and they always have the blinds open, so anybody with eyes and good enough vision to see 15 feet can simply look into their apartment, and their living room window is right by the front door of the duplex. I mean, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about him being a creep. That didn't go into my head. But like I said earlier, why would the wife open her window like that if she's cheating on her husband? This doesn't make any sense. Like that point. Let's see what the comments say. Not the a-hole. Honestly, I feel like your girlfriend is being really suspicious about this, lol. The signs will be obvious and he should find out for himself, TF. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is she such like a big part in telling her no or telling the OP no? Because people often shoot the messenger in these sorts of situations. Couples also have their own arguments that others might view as unorthodox, so that they don't want to drag out into the open for discussion. Okay, yeah, so this comment is saying what I'm trying to say. Like, even if that is true, I'd rather just take the risk and tell him something that is more important than what the like danger could be. Because the danger is what? I was gonna think of something, but there's not really anything I could think of that would make the husband go like, F you to OP. And also the whole thing of people shooting the messenger, or I haven't seen that many videos of people telling someone that they're being cheated on. Why would someone shoot the messenger in that case? Like, surely all your anger and like sadness, whatever feeling, should be to the person that's cheating on you, not the person that told you. That doesn't make sense. I get there's obviously cases like that, I'm sure there are, but I didn't know about this. Like, it was that big of a deal. Not the a-hole, but he has no incentive to take the word of a nosy neighbor instead of his wife's, so you should have solid evidence when doing it. Also, he may be in the loop and just doesn't announce it to everybody. Sending it anonymously would help you further distance yourself from this. I guess that's the best. Yeah, you know what, this commenter said it the best. Just send it anonymously and then everyone's happy. Like, your girlfriend is happy because you're not getting yourself in the middle of it. The wife can't blame anyone in specific, and the husband at least knows about it, or at least is like, you know, finds out. And getting the proof shouldn't be that hard. If their blinds are open, literally just take a picture and you got it right there. There you go. So yeah, I think OP would not be the a-hole if he told his neighbor that his wife is cheating on him. I think that is the morally correct thing to do. I'm not gonna lie, whether he does it anonymously or not doesn't really matter to me. I think he should just say it. He has no loyalty to the wife at all to keep it a secret. Not that you should anyways if it's your friend or whatever, but there's no reason to do it in the first place. And maybe his girlfriend is worried about the neighbor like getting mad at OP in the moment because he needs someone to get mad at, but I don't see that as a real risk. Maybe I'm just tripping or something like that. But yeah, OP's not the a-hole, and I think he should hopefully tell the neighbor about his wife. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to give my number to my neighbor? 26-year-old female who lives alone and is currently working from home because it's 2020. This morning, an acquaintance who lives in my apartment building knocked on my door and gave me his phone number in case I ever needed help, which I thought was nice of him. I thanked him and he left. Now that I'm in my new apartment, by the way, I also want to get like my neighbors, not number. I want to introduce myself to neighbors. It's been like 3 months, so I don't know if it's like a little too late, but I want to be able to like know my neighbors, especially in an apartment building where everyone is like so close to each other and we all use the same stuff like trash or whatever. I want to have like a cool relationship with my neighbors, but I'm so fucking nervous. I don't even know how to introduce myself, especially with my roommate as well. I put the number on my counter and got back to work. A few minutes later, he came back and asked for my number. You gave him your number? Wait, what? I told him I'm sorry, but I'm not comfy giving out my number. He asked me why not and said he never call or text unless something was really wrong. I told him I just don't feel safe giving out my phone number. This really hurt his feelings and he asked for the piece of paper back, which I obliged. I didn't put my phone number in there, and I already have an emergency contact with the other neighbor in my building who I know a lot better. When I handed him the number back, he left saying, I guess we're all alone after all, right? Yo, who the is this? Is he doing like the male loneliness thing? What is he? What? I don't get why the guy would come back and ask for her number. Did he expect her to text him immediately and so he'd have her number right then and there? Don't get me wrong, him asking for her number already gave me the vibe of, okay, like he didn't just give her for like emergencies, he maybe wanted something else. But I guess we're all alone after all is cryptic as shit. I don't know what the f is going on with that. I just don't get why he'd ask for the number after giving it. That's the only thing I'm really confused on. He doesn't seem like a bad guy at all. If anything, he's probably just a harmless fellow who has a hard time picking up social cues. It seemed like he was coming from a genuinely good place. He's knocked on my door a couple times to check on me, even though I've never indicated anything was wrong. Check on you. What does that mean? I don't know how much she knows her neighbor, but what do you mean to check on you? Am I missing something here? I know I've never, ever had a neighbor come to knock on my door and check on me and be like, yo, you good? I'm a pretty private person and I have a hard time interacting with strangers sometimes. I don't know if it's from bad experiences where I've given my number to someone and they overstep personal boundaries. This has happened numerous times, both with guys I've dated and from other previous acquaintances / friends who I've later had to cut out my life. I have a very hard time saying no to people and establishing boundaries, and I've regretted it before. I guess we don't know what she means by overstep personal boundaries, but I'm still confused about the knock on my door a couple of times to check on me. A couple of times, more than once, if my neighbor came to open the door was like, yo, you good? I'm gonna be like, yo, what are you knocking on my door for? Like, I said yes, I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry about me. From his perspective, it seems like it threw his kindness right back into his face, and it kind of feels that way, to be honest. No, I completely disagree. She shouldn't have to feel some type of way about saying no to the number. Like, especially considering that he gave his number for emergencies, she should not feel some type of way about saying no to that. What if he doesn't have a lot of people he can turn into? I made a gut decision based on other people I've known and probably judged him too harshly for just being a good neighbor. Everyone I've met in my building is very sweet and he doesn't seem to have any ill intent. If I was really in the wrong, I'll sincerely apologize and give him my number. What do you think? It's not on her to give someone her number. She doesn't feel bad about it at all. I don't get the all alone. That's is so weird. Why did he say that? I'm really confused about that. That's the one thing I'm like so hyper focused on right now, like what he means. She hasn't mentioned anything about like romanticizing it, right? So maybe he's not saying it in a romantic way. Maybe he just wants to have friends. Then I get it. Okay, but then I feel really bad. Okay, wait. Damn. Okay, wait. If he's saying it like we're all alone, he has no friends, then I feel really bad. And don't get me wrong, Opie's still not a bad person for it, but I can see why she feels bad. Okay, I'm gonna assume it's not based off of romanticizing it, right? I'm gonna assume the neighbor is asking for the number just to like know someone or whatever the case is. I'm like making up a whole scenario, like just to feel bad for this guy, but I don't know. If it's in that case, I can relate to her and how she feels bad, but she's not the a-hole in any case. Let's see the comments though. Not the a-hole. Your neighbor is creepy and his guilting behavior shows that you are right to feel uncomfy. Agreed. The attempt at forcing teaming and freaking knocking at her door to check on her is raising my hackles. It reeks of manipulation. Jesus, I don't know if it's that deep. God damn. Yeah, I don't know about manipulation. Let's chill, okay? Let's calm down. Not the a-hole. You don't have to give your number to anyone if you don't want to. Since he came back to ask for your number, I think your gut feeling is right. Also, if he is lonely and doesn't have much social skills like you think, it isn't up to you to make that better. If you want to, you can socialize with him, but you don't have to. It doesn't make you an a-hole. Yeah, I mean, perfectly said. I don't know what it is with me. For some reason, I feel bad. Like, if it's in the view of him just wanting a friend, if it's like him wanting to get with Opie, then it's completely different. But I don't know. I can't. It's kind of hard for me to tell. Shouldn't have contact with this neighbor. I don't know if is it really that deep? Oh my God, wait. To be fair, both times he checked on me was after a small earthquake, and once early in the pandemic, see if I needed anything. Oh, okay. So the reasons make sense. Okay, now we got that out the way. So all the comments saying about checking up is weird, like what I was saying earlier. I guess they have some validity to it, but it's a hard one. I wouldn't say he's a creep. I think after all that, especially with the background of earthquake and pandemic, I think that him checking is like pretty valid. And I'm sure he's checking on other neighbors as well. Don't get me wrong, I would never call Opie an a-hole for this. She doesn't have to do anything. Like, she cannot do anything after this and she'll be fine. But like I said earlier, I can see why she feels bad. I think I'd also feel bad as well, because like you don't want to come off as someone who doesn't want to like interact with other people or like make someone feel bad about trying to interact, if that's the case. But with that being said, I would say Opie isn't the a-hole. I think what she's doing is perfectly fine. I think her wanting to give the number isn't crazy. Like, she's not obligated to, like everyone else said in the comments. comments. But yeah, OP's not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for telling my neighbor's kids to stop playing in my yard/driveway? I live in a new building neighborhood and was initially super happy to have kids play as I want my toddler to grow up in a fun neighborhood. Last couple months with a group of kids, I've gotten many motion alerts and have opened my camera to kids riding bikes through the HOA flowers in front of my house. 2 plants are now dead. My driveway, my dirt and rocks, and my flower bushes. Also, the kids are riding their bikes. Okay, literally just said it. We've also had many bike tire tread marks on our driveway, very close, and some looking like they've been very close to or ran into our garage door. They're just running into your door and then just being like, oh, we gotta leave. At one point, I watched the kids play on our neighbor's dirt pile out front, landscaping work, and proceed to throw dirt in my yard and their shoes at my house. And this led to them chasing each other through my bushes and over the new drip system that we're having, settling issues in regards to the dirt. I let it go and repack the dirt. Wait, they're throwing the shoes at the house. What the hell? Is that something kids do? I don't think I've ever took my shoes off and thrown it at my friends being like, haha, guys. I finally said something when I saw them ride their bike through our plant we just planted and leave their bike in it, collapsing the stems. I let them know, hey, whose bike is this? It's smashing my flowers. I don't care what you guys do, just please stay out of my yard and driveway. We continued having track marks in our yard, and since I wasn't able to see who was doing it, I went and fixed the yard again and swept the rocks. Multiple people also let their dogs walk off leash and poop in our yard where my toddler is stepping in it often if I don't go out and pick it up first. Oh my god. Okay, I don't have a dog or a cat. I'm about to get a cat soon. How often is it that people who have dogs aren't picking up their dogs like poo or whatever? Is that big of a deal? Because I live in downtown Austin and I see a lot of signs of like, make sure to pick up your dog's poop or whatever. Like they have bags out right there. Are people just like letting them do it and they're not picking it up? Especially if it's on someone's yard? Is it that normal? Maybe it's more of a thing of a city. I feel like if your neighborhood, because you can get caught so much easier, people are more inclined to do it, but you guys can let me know. My husband is gone a lot, so I try to keep up with our yard. I'm also pregnant with a toddler. I've also tried to determine who's parent to these kids for potential conversations, but I can never determine, and I'm not the one to stalk a kid. Okay, thank God. Yeah, I'm not gonna ask. If you were to find out whose parents these are, then at that point the parents can be locked in and tell the kids, okay, yeah, yo, chill out, stop doing that. But like, okay, I will say, yeah, you should have to talk to the parent, but I'm willing to bet the parents don't know what the kids are doing. Like, there's no way they know. 100%. I'm confident in that. Yesterday, I noticed a kid doing a wheelie up in my driveway. Oh, he's sick. Oh, a wheelie. Oh. Gets super close to my garage door and kept repeating it. He looked older. I went out and said, hey, I've already asked you before. You're leaving tread marks in my driveway and I'm the one that's cleaning that. Respect my stuff, please. I was stern but not rude. I watched to see where he went in the group road to the unbuilt side of the neighborhood. I called my husband and said, hey, we need to find the parents of these kids to talk. Oh, the kid just didn't answer? He just heard her and left? You know what's funny? As a kid, if I was talked to it anyway, even if it was like the most valid reason from the parents, but in like a stern or like correcting me way, I'd be terrified. I remember I used to be so scared of other people's parents. If it wasn't like a family member like my own, obviously. Like I was terrified of being told off. That was one of the biggest fears I had as a kid. I get a knock on my door with the mom asking me why I yelled at her 12-year-old and gave him a stomach ache. Okay. Well, that kid just lied straight to the mom's face. Granted, I don't blame the parent because like if my 12-year-old told me like that, I'm gonna believe him. I let her know I've watched her child and others run into my yard, damage plants, and use my driveway to ride bikes in. What the mom basically told me is not to talk to her child and to address it with her. So basically this kid went into his mom saying I yelled. I did not yell, but I was stern. And she implied that I am not to talk to her child if he comes on her own property. I get it, but I would also like to be apologetic if my kid was damaging things. Yeah, I was gonna say, the mom not taking any type of accountability on her kid's actions is pretty childish, no pun intended. And also, you want to be nice to the other neighbors. I'm the type of person to like, apologize for anything, and maybe this person isn't, but like there's a valid reason why you would apologize as a parent. It's not crazy to do. Is it really that hard to apologize off your kid's behalf? Like, unless you think the OP is lying, but I wouldn't assume that. Anyhow, half the neighborhood was watching this conversation, and I look like that angry old lady now. I even emphasized to the mom, hey, I don't care what they do. Can they just stay out of my stuff? Am I the a-hole? At least she's letting her know, like, hey, I'm not that pressed about the fact that they're doing stuff, but like, don't hit it on my property. Why is the mom not apologizing? Come on, like, it's not that deep. It doesn't matter if your kid is the one doing it, not you. As a parent, you're supposed to apologize on the behalf of your kid, or I feel like you're supposed to. Let's see the comments though. Please grow a spine and scream your head off at the next neighbor that tries this. Also scream your head off at the kids and scare the effing hell out of them. You're fully liable for injuries on your property. No, period. Okay, Jesus, I don't know about screaming your head. Like I get like it's not OP's fault or anything, but I don't know if yelling at someone, especially for a kid's action, is really that called for. I think you can calm down a little bit. Maybe this post is hitting close to home for this commenter, but let's chill, okay? Calm down. Not the a-hole. Not only are they ruining your property, it's a liability issue. Who do you think those parents are gonna blame when their precious baby cracks their head open during the wheelies on their driveways? Certainly not their innocent little angel. Are there really that many parents not understanding that their kids are the ones in the problem? Like, I feel like with my parents, it was almost always I was the one in the wrong, and any other kid was like the one who like is like the innocent little angel. Not like, you know, fucking like my parents don't like me. My parents love me, obviously, but my parents could never be like my little angel Kaleb. That's not like something that they'd ever say. And both comments did mention liability. Is that really a thing? Like, if they cracked the hair open on my property, and I told them previously, hey, don't come on, and I didn't like set them up. It's still my fault, even though I told him not to come on. Really? Is that the case? By the way, if you guys are enjoying the video, please hit that subscribe button. I think like 90% of you guys watching this are not subscribed. So if you guys like me and my videos, subscribe, please. Thank you. But yeah, I'd say OP is not the a-hole, especially when you consider that they told the parent in a very like nice way and not like a crazy way. Like they weren't being mean about it. Funny enough, if they were to say it in the way that one comment said about like screaming and like yelling at them, then I say they're the a-hole. Granted, I know OP has had the shit side of the stick. That is not the saying, but I don't know the short side of the stick or whatever it's called. But they're kids, and like I don't think yelling at anyone is gonna get anything done. If anything, the mom of the kid might try to like clap back and be like, okay, bet, and to like tell her kid like, yo, go after her shit now, like go, you know, especially do it. But don't get me wrong, if they still don't get it after this, then by all means, I think go ahead and try to take whatever action you can. But with that being said, I don't think OP is the a-hole. I think she said it in a very normal way, stern way, and the kid still doesn't get it, then she can take, you know, further action. But okay, so yeah, to end it, OP's not the a-hole. With that being said, that was the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm really sorry for my energy. I can't even finish the sentence. The last 4 videos you've seen, I pre-recorded. Okay, you know, all that. The next video you see, I will be back to normal. Videos will be hopefully a lot more high energy, and they won't be as bad as the last 3. Hopefully have not been. I guess we'll see after editing. But if you guys did enjoy the video, though, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know any video it is you guys want me to do in the comments below. And until next time, peace.